Hey everyone, Robert Silver here, and today I want to just share with you a kit that I put together that I think I'm going to stick with for a while, and it's all surrounded by prime lenses. Okay, so here is one of my go-to camera bags right here. It's the Think Tank Photo Retrospective Backpack 15, and I love this bag. It doesn't look like a camera bag. It's kind of vintage, it's kind of cool. And if you have any of Think Tank's retrospective shoulder bags, it's built with the same toughness and quality. So I really like it. It's got plenty of pockets and whatnot. But I believe I did an open box with this, and if so, you'll see the card up above, so just check that out. So anyway, let's get into what's in the bag so I can share with you the 3 prime lenses that I'll be now carrying with me to all my portrait shoots. Okay, so let's open this puppy up. First and foremost, as I just mentioned, is the 50mm. This is the Lumix S Pro 50mm f1.4 lens. It's a beast, and it's a beast in a good way. I like that it has the textile, like what is it, the aperture dial here. I really like that. That's just me. I like the clickety click. Anyway, it's a gorgeous lens. It's never done me wrong. It performs exactly the way I need it. Great focusing, super sharp, and great color. With that said, it's attached to my Lumix S5, which is, if you don't know, a 24mm full frame mirrorless camera. And it's a real nice compact package that I can guarantee you, with any model or portrait session that I have for a client or otherwise, this right here will do the job. A nice 50, and if you can't do this one, I highly recommend the Sigma Art 50mm f1.4 lens, and that is a gorgeous lens too, but I already have this one, so therefore here we are. So with that said, we'll put that down right over here. That's the first lens. Now, if you want to blow out the background a little bit more, I got myself the 85. Now the 85, I did an open box for this particular lens as well. If you want to go check out the history of my videos, this is the Sigma 85 f1.4 DGDN lens. So this is available for your Lumix Leica cameras, the Sigma camera if you have that, as well as the Sony E mount. So go ahead, this lens is worth every dollar. Truly is. Every time I pull this puppy out, and I used it yesterday on a couple of shots, and it consistently just blows my mind. It's a great lens, and definitely always in the camera bag. And also for when I do cinema, I always keep this bag in there. So there we go. That is the 85 1.4 DGDN lens, art lens from Sigma. So definitely there. So we have the 50, we got the 85, and now for our wide shot, I was actually debating between this lens and another lens that I recently got, but I decided to go with this lens. It's the Sigma Art DG. Now see, this one's different, okay? This is the original. This is the DG HSM lens, which is with the hypersonic motor, and this one's specifically built for DSLR cameras, and then they internalize the mounting for it to communicate to mirrorless cameras right on the back here. But let me tell you, this lens, phenomenal, super sharp. Okay, it's now I chose the 24 over a 35 for this little Trinity portrait kit because I rather my frame to be a little bit wider than to not have enough and feel a little claustrophobic. Now I love a 35, but just in case I needed that extra room and I couldn't back up, the 24 is giving me that, and I could always punch in if I need to a little bit. Not the biggest fan on punching in, but if I need to, I certainly can with the 24 and give me that 35 look. With being a 1.4, it's going to give me the ability to have tons of natural light coming into the lens. And as you can tell, with all three of these lenses, I have tons of light coming in. I never felt the need to have to go beyond the 1.4. There are those 1.2s and the 1.0 and what is it, the 50 knock with a 0.9 from Nikon or something. Like, all those are great. But as you know, I mean, there's a benefit to having more light come into the lens, which is a shallow depth of field. And for portraits, you know, for me to have to risk of not getting that shot or tic-tac sharpness or the accuracy rather, that becomes an issue. And you know, just from slightly shaking the hand, you could change where that focus point is accidentally. Granted, we all have eye autofocus and all of them do it well. I use eye autofocus plenty on the S5, never had an issue, but I just creatively have never felt like, oh, I need that much more light. So all these lenses being at 1.4, I think is a dream come true for any portrait photographer. You're covering your bases, as you can tell, the 24, right, for your wide, and then you have your 50 for a nice standard portrait, and as well as focal length, and then you have an 85 if you just want to crush that background. Here you go, with very, very little effort, you're gonna crush the background with the 85. And I really like those three lenses. I'm not sure what you like, but definitely feel free to share. Now, in my camera bag, just to let you know, I always like to reiterate this, I carry with me a nice good old color checker right here. Get your white balance on. Make sure, I mean, this one's, I think, $90, but quite honestly, it's paid itself back many times, just making sure you get that color accuracy right. And most importantly, it helps you to dial in so that you don't mess up your subject's skin tone. So that's why I like having a white balance checker. Of course, my pocket rocket, my Pixel Pocket Rocket from Think Tank, I always bring multiple cards, because actually yesterday I forgot to put a card in the camera. And this model had traveled from LA up to San Francisco, and I was part of her shoot situation, and so there was no plan B, okay? So I had 5 more cards in here, boom bada bing, she never knew, but now she may know if she watches this video. Of course, I always make sure you bring a cleaning kit, something as simple as this. I'm telling you, this is gonna save you, and it saved me tons of times, and I'm looking for the wipe. Oh, okay, here we go. A little brush to brush the lens or different areas of your camera, but most importantly, the front element, rear element. And then a little blower here. Definitely bring this. If you're shooting anywhere outdoors and you're with the mirrorless cameras, most cameras leave the sensor exposed, etc. You hit the rear, hit the front elements of the lens before putting it on. Maybe a little top inside, and make sure you're pointing the camera down when you're hitting this. Never hurts to have it. It weighs like nothing, so don't complain about it. And of course, good old glass cleaner. This is good for my glasses. It's good for the front element and the rear element. Do not spray this inside the camera. But otherwise, bring this. You just never know. You might accidentally put your finger on it, or some dust gets on it and whatnot. Definitely bring some glass cleaner with you. And that's like my mini kit in terms of, camera care kit. I always bring 2 extra batteries on my shoots. Yesterday's shoot was only 1 hour, but quite honestly, why not? I mean, if you have it, bring 2 extra. You just never know. I've had a charger tell me that a battery's charged, and then when I get there, it's really only halfway charged. So I'm glad I bring more. There's a saying I heard is like, 3 is 2, 2 is 1, 1 is none. So redundancy. I always think of that. So anyway. Well, that is basically about it. I wanted to share with you my latest portrait photography kit. I'm really getting into using prime lenses. I have nothing wrong with zooms. I've used them for years, but there's just something, I just appreciate prime lenses right about now. That's kind of where I'm at creatively. What do you like shooting with? What's your favorite focal length? What's your favorite lenses? feel free to post those down below. I'd love to hear about it. If you have any questions about my approach to portrait photography, you can definitely post those questions down below. I will be having upcoming workshops and photo hikes, so don't forget to go to robertsillphotography.com and press workshops, and you'll see all the list of latest workshops and free photo hikes that I will be hosting. And as well as I'll be actually going to be planning a Lightroom workshop via online as well. So definitely, if you want to learn to step up your photo editing game, then make sure you check that out. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video and you would like to see more, don't forget to press that like, share, subscribe, and of course hit that bell icon for more notifications of upcoming videos. I'm Robert Silver, and until next time, keep shooting and stay creative.